Hey there guys, SimpTide, just with a word before the video. This will contain spoilers, and if you didn't realize that before clicking on it, you're a big, stinky, stupid, idiot baby head.
Ooh, look at you! You're such a stupid baby!
Look, I haven't finished recording this video yet, but I can already tell it's gonna be a friggin' long one, so... Yep, we're ranking them. Play the intro and let's get started. Okay, I'm not even sure if these guys even count as bosses, so let's just, yeah, basically, you know what's coming. I don't believe these guys really count as bosses, but legit every site I've gone to counts them as such, so, you know, I'll just go ahead and tackle them all in this one spot. It's really cool to see how these beloved enemies from older Kirby games transition to the edgier, more macho style of this one, especially Wild Edge. Also, Florina exists, I guess. Florina is easily the worst one. She goes down extremely easily, even without upgraded abilities, and her design is just anthropomorphic swanner. And, you know, the copy ability she gives you isn't nearly as useful as Hammer, or Ice, or Sword, or, like, literally anything. You even get a Waddle Dee just for freezing her. I'm almost convinced this game hates her as much as me. While Bonkers isn't much better, they didn't really do much to change his moveset apart from throwing some kind of durian jackfruit kind of thingy instead of the usual coconuts. Honestly, he's probably the easiest to defeat out of all of them, which is surprising because he was the mid-boss which was the hardest in most Kirby games, including Superstar. Wild Frosty is fun, but he's definitely the hardest, which is good, because, you know, it provides the funnest challenge. He really does shine in his twin Frosty fight on Battle on the Bridge, or whatever the hell that stage is called. Wild Edge is my personal favorite, but I suppose it's in the same way that you would prefer eating a snail to eating dog crap, you know. Neither sound like good options, but, you know, at least there's options. Still hate Florina, and I can't believe they snubbed the boy Kibbleblade. Wild Kibbleblade would look cool as hell. Just the name Wild Blade sounds cool. But bring back Kibbleblade, Hal. Bring him home. I want my Kibbleblade! Oh, Kirby. Such a cute franchise. Oh, look at that little boy. Surely nothing bad could ever happen. I interrupt your regularly scheduled cute Kirby game to bring you... Fecto Forgo, being the penultimate boss of the main story, has a very cool design. But the reason they are here at 20 is due to how impossibly easy they are to defeat. Without even needing upgraded abilities, using Ranger, Sword, Ice, Fire, or even Cutter are more than enough to defeat it. It's well designed, sure, and its theme is something ripped from a horror movie. But apart from that, this boss offers nothing except a bridge from the boss prior to the final main story boss. This boss is outshined by every boss prior and every boss after it. And sure, while other bosses in this game may be easy, at least they had more than 2 attacks. Not just that, but this amalgam's little crawl space contains enemies for Kirby to inhale and use the ability of, including a Bernard giving Kirby Ranger and a Sir Kibble giving Kirby Cutter. And these are the 2 most well-suited abilities against him. In conclusion, Fecto Forgo does not deserve to count as a whole boss. I prefer to think of it as Phase 1 of Fecto Elphalus. Also, the lore it gives is cool, I guess, too. Anyway, next spot, and I don't like Fecto Forgo. Goodbye. Monker. massive monker as the very first boss in Forgotten Land, and trust me, he is a welcome introduction. The sheer scale of this guy is perfect to give Kirby a fun challenge, to test the newly learnt skills from playing the rest of the game up until this point. Well, that's what I would say if this guy wasn't so damn easy. On my first attempt, I got all of the Waddle Dees just for playing normally. One to win with sword, one to take no damage, one to duck through his legs, and one for just beating him in under 2 minutes. And, the hardest one of these to complete is the sword one. Gorimondo has 1000 HP, which sounds a bit scary, but then you realize Kirby's Spitting Star does 80. Not just that, but the moment you use Ice or upgrade an ability, you can beat him into a pulp so fast, he straight up skips his whole second phase before he does the Tornado. Not to mention, according to the lore, he has been beaten by Meta Knight over 30 times, and depending on how fast you play, that could mean he's been beaten by Meta Knight almost 4 times an hour. But, there are positives. First off, Monker. Second off, his design is impeccable. Using him as the demo boss was really a great move on Hal's part because he looks so dark, gritty, and punk, and yet somehow so very Kirby-esque. Thirdly, it is so satisfying to beat him, purely because of Kirby's puny stature in comparison. Landing that finishing blow with the unevolved sword was one of my all-time favorite moments from the whole game. Lastly, the transition from the mold to the fight is set impeccably. Crash course in why. Horde of Bananas, Gorimondo's shadow, starting in a big open area, the music fitting it so well there's literally a whole 30-minute video about how good it is, going into the food court and only being eye level with the boss, lack of enemies, apart from 2 damn Oophies, truly showing that this is the boss's domain, and lastly, the name of the level rhymes, but apart from that, not the greatest. Kirby is such an iconic franchise. So many characters are just nationally recognized and just so truly iconic. And, apart from King Dedede and Meta Knight, I'd have to say the most iconic boss character, well, that's Wispy Woods. And, as is the usual, we got a version of him. That's right, Wispy Woods is back, and he's Hawaiian, or Fijian, or something. Jokes aside, I know this guy isn't actually Wispy, but rather his own palmy being. However, he retains a lot of Wispy's moves, except they are humongous.
The final word is humongous.
Oh, that's easy. Humongous. M-Y-P-E-N-I.
Firstly, the regular apple's wispy drops have been replaced by enormous coconuts. That's freaking cool. Secondly, Tropic Woods has the blowing move, which only gets bigger as the fight progresses. I love how this fight is done, and it's awesome to see the trend continue. There is an issue with this though. Every boss in this game is a member of the Beast Pack. Tropic Woods is a plant. Why is he here exactly? Every boss to this point and after this point was in the Beast Pack, and Tropic Woods is just randomly appearing. He's never fought in the Beast Council gathering stage in Redgar, where you fight every other main boss in this series, except for the final bosses. I thought that was pretty obvious. Did Kirby just meet a random tree and beat it up? Did the tree initiate the fight? Who shot first, Kirby or Tropic Woods? This is getting confusing. Time to get back on track. Tropic Woods is totally stationary during the fight, which means he's fairly easy to land hits on, but that's not to say he can't hold his own. When the second phase activates, he blows Kirby to the other side of the stage, and then releases a slew of air bullets. Yes, that's what they're called, I looked it up. And puts up a fence to protect himself. If you're not ready for the fence to come out of the ground, it can genuinely surprise you. When it's up, he sends out some huge roots to fence Kirby in, and, they, make it harder for him to avoid the fence, I guess. But the game does reward players who challenge the system. By destroying the roots, you get a Waddle Dee and a whole lot of drop stars. Also, it has a fire copy essence at the start of the level, in case you're that bad you genuinely need fire to beat Tropic Woods. Anyway, this boss wasn't too bad. Time for the next one. I know the furries are gonna get really mad at me for this placement. Honestly, Flora Wynn's boss fight is a bit of a take it or leave it for me.
She sort of just, like, swipes and jumps almost aimlessly around the stage of the big top and then starts throwing knives in her second phase. You know, it is cool that you can hit her with Ranger when she's higher up, but, you know, the real thing I like about her is that her backstory. Which, if you don't want it to be spoiled, I suggest you skip this part, because I'm about to tell it to you in excruciating detail. Now, before she was a trained assassin like she is now, she was named Carol, and she was friends with a peaceful lion named Leon. One day, Leon was exploring the Forgotten Land, coming across a place called Lab Discoverer.
Stop! If you do not want spoilers, go back, because this is your only other chance.
Upon entry, Leon discovered a creature laying at rest, a creature named Fecto Forgo. Forgo's immense power overwhelmed Leon as he became possessed. Carol found him speaking an unknown language, a language which, as it turns out, is English. Leon, now known as Leongar, assembled a beast pack, a group of deadly animalian killers which bent to his every whim. They were instructed to seek out the other half of Forgo, a small little creature called Elphalin. She still had faith that Leon will come to his senses, so adopted the alter ego of Coraline to seek and retrieve Elphalin for Forgo. I really love the backstory, but the battle is a miss. Also, this design isn't sexy. What kind of demented zoo sadist would find this crap remotely attractive? Oh no.
As a furry! They built her proportions for the No! Okay, I do not mean to be weird, but look at the cat's proportion.
Bet you weren't expecting this!
Yeah, well, this is the point in the list where I stop, well, disliking the actual boss fight itself. The reason Phantom Meta Knight is here, however, is because there is absolutely no difficulty upscale between the previous Meta Knight fight and this one. I haven't lost once to this fight, and I've played the Ultimate Cup Z a grand total of 9 times. The main reason this specific iteration of our beloved bluish battler is by this point you will most likely have the Morpho Knight sword, i.e. the most absolutely busted copy ability in the entire game. The improved dodges make it so easy to cheese the rockfall attack that I doubt it even counts as a genuine threat. Not just that, but like the other Meta Knight fight, the sword ability is available right before the fight begins. Never before has Meta Knight been less threatening than this, and judging that it will be the last Meta Knight variant you fight in this game, that's pretty disappointing. Oh well, I suppose. You win some, you lose some. Next list. Thingamajiggy. Here comes the Okay. I'm not gonna lie, this boss was the first death in the whole game for me. Mainly because of that rolling move that I didn't know you could dodge because I didn't know about the dodge move and I'm still really salty about it. Also, the setup for this boss is so hilariously creepy.
It begins at night in the canyon. You can't really tell what it is in the silhouette, but you expect it to be a joyously faux menacing, like all of the bosses prior. You trek about the canyon, coming across a wall of wanted posters, made impossible to remove all at once. The copy essences lie ahead, as does a clearing, leading into a gloomy little cave. Ooh, so terrifying. You approach the cage in the center, in which you see Elphalin, but something is amiss. Elphalin?
It's a doll!
Dun 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 dun. Suddenly, you hear a noise and turn behind you to see...
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
a gender non-binary armadillo with buck teeth and a neck that looks like a limp spaghetti noodle. At the very least, with this appearance, it's impossible to sexualize.
The game has only been out for 2 months yet. How is this possible? I am crying.
At the very least, Silly Dillo has a really great fight. He has 3 phases and also an insta-kill move, which, mind you, to my knowledge, none of the other bosses, not even the secret final boss, has. Silly Dillo can canonically one-shot Kirby using nothing but a cage. This officially makes Silly Dillo the most powerful character in all of Kirby lore. If Void Termina couldn't do it, and Mark's Soul couldn't do it, and every iteration of Dark Matter couldn't do it, then why give Silly Dillo this power? This means that Silly Dillo has the same level of power as Necrodius from Kirby Mass Attack. Dude, Silly Dillo is horrifying, and I want to go to the next spot on this list. Mom, pick me up, I'm scared. Guys, have you gotten sick of the monkey joke yet? Because I haven't. Yeah, not all of the Phantoms are hard. In fact, Phantom Gorimondo is only slightly more different than his regular form. Thankfully, due to Smash, Kirby has more than enough experience thrashing monkeys, amongst other things.
I'm really feeling it!
Yeah, not a whole ton to say here. It's harder than the regular Gorimondo fight, but is still sifted in with the easier bosses. And it definitely looks the weakest. The palette swap just wasn't nearly as good looking on Gorimondo as Chloraline or Silly Dillo especially. Next spot! He's back and better than ever, I think, and I haven't played a ton of Kirby recently. But nonetheless, oh my god, this fight is phenomenal. The translation to 3D genuinely could not have done better. Ugh, it's just so good. Meta Knight, being one of the best recurring Kirby characters, is just so wonderful in this game, it makes me want to scream. The references, so on point. The Upper Caliber, original sword from Kirby's Adventure, the mother-sucking grab-it sword. I really love the history behind Meta Knight and Fecto Forgo here. Having withstood the mind control and escaping the Winter Horns, the power left over from the psychic bond formed Phantom Meta Knight, which is just super cool. And, you know, the sentiment seems to be shared. Look at Hiro's reaction.
Who's next? Meta Knight! Oh, hell yeah, bro! Meta Knight! Stop it! Please. I love you!
And not just that, this legend, known only as Toxic P, has a whole video dedicated to why Meta Knight's appearance in this game is off the scale. And if you want a lot more reasons to like the Metal Marauder, check him out. This fight is still a bit middle of the road, considering the much better iteration of it later in the game, and the other awesome bosses afterward. I actually doubt anyone is watching at this point, because I think, like, there's a lot of spots on this list, so I'm losing a lot of viewer engagement, I'm betting, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people are just skipping to number 1 to see what I ranked it. So, in order to, like, rein people back in, here is the King DDD song. King DDD is done of the best boss fights in the game because this redesign looks actually cool as all heck. Here's a Yu-Gi-Oh deck. This is the theme that actually plays when you fight him in Winter Horns, but it's the easiest one to put more drums in. Screw you, you bitch. King DDD is really cool, and I also don't know what to say right here. Yeah. Okay, the song is actually really good. I actually don't know what to say here because I really like the King DDD fight, but it's not as good as the other fights in the game. Okay, next spot then. This is easily probably the shortest segment in the whole video, so, yeah. Yeah, as I said, this segment's pretty short, but, yeah. It's just regular Silly Dillo with more fun stuff thrown in. Not much to say, so, yeah, next one. Now, if you are a furry,
leave. Because you about to get a jizz stain on your screen for real. I really love Phantom Chloraline's new color scheme. Hats off to the devs for making all of them have the same color scheme, but always applying it well. Except with Gorimondo, because that one's not that good. Not just that, but the improvement here is a spectacle. And it's truly a staple of the fight. The new moves with the acrobatics and cloning make it feel so much more like a circus act, which fits the battle amazingly in comparison to the original one, which was just kind of like... she could jump pretty high. She is also a lot faster, which makes it a lot more challenging, but really not too much. In the end, it's a pretty middle-of-the-road, difficult boss. But, you know, it's definitely leagues above the original in terms of gameplay. Next one! Back-to-back-to-back Phantoms, let's go! I am physically incapable of stopping gushing about how cool dedede is in this game. I mean, this Phantom variant, absolutely no exception. I mean, look at this. The strobe eyes, they make him look so manic. It's somewhat chilling seeing a version of dedede looking so fueled by hatred, totally devoid of a soul. He triples his belly flop, throws Gordos, spiny Gordo bars, and now spawns alongside 6 primal Awoofies. It's just really cool. And anyway, as I've said before, these Phantom entries, they're gonna be pretty short, except for the ones that I like. I do like this one though. So yeah, on to the next. You know, I think Kirby is the only game where a malevolent force possessing a big buff penguin wielding double hammers and constantly swinging them around and wearing masks has become sort of a normal thing. I mean, like, Jesus Christ, dedede, how the f*** do you keep getting possessed? Finally, at long last, the grand return of masked dedede. And oh boy, is it welcome. Dedede is just so visceral and rabid here. His attacks are buffed, and it truly shows that despite prior knowledge of his lazy nature, when he wants to, or gets possessed to, he can do some crazy ass shit. I especially love his starting attack where he tornadoes around the whole platform, pooling lava on the stage. Double hammers pretty much equals double the power, and, you know, for a character as physically dominant as dedede, you're kinda screwed, mate. So yeah, there he goes, he's gone, and oh, he got a second phase! Oh my god, he goes full furry. He's running around on all fours, fully feral, warthog mask, and it symbolizes Forgo's power, clouding dedede's mind, and it makes him take full control. Once Kirby beats him, he snaps out of it, leading to one of my favorite cutscenes in the whole game.
Without you, my friend, and I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. We've come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again.
Truly tear-jerking, I know. I don't actually know how to introduce this tree! The glow-up is truly real. This is the best variant of Wispy Woods. A difficult challenge by this game's standard at least, but with astonishing new attacks. I'm reading this like a freaking car salesman. Wait. 1 sec.
Come on down to SimpTide's Automobiles for amazing new deals. For a limited time only, this f***ing tree!
Ladies and gentlemen, this tree is incredible! A limited Phantom Tropic Woods number with so many features, it's astonishing! With such additions to its asinine arsenal as the Gordo Shower, well, you'll never be bored. And a second phase, too, with such amazing feats as the Rowdy Roots, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Fence Toe Forgo, and the amazing Race, you'll be enamored from start to finish. Also, for a limited time, this small marshmallow child deep-throating a Honda Civic, now 40% off!
Come on down to SimpTide's Automobiles for amazing automobiles.
SimpTide Automobiles product Phantom Tropic Woods contains side effects of splitters, fatal injury, coconut allergy, fractures, fatal injury, air knockback, diabetes, and fatal injury. SimpTide Automobiles and other parent companies are not responsible and will whoop your foolish booty hole in court. Lol sucks to suck.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. Anyway, next spot. This really is the furry Kirby game essential. Last, the king of the furries, the anthropomorphic animal Allah, the sexy sovereign of certain simpletons who dress as squirrels and sleep sensually alongside several skunks. Say that 6 times fast. Actually, don't. You don't want your father to leave again. Leongar is such an interesting character because he genuinely seems so compassionate when he isn't brainwashed by Forgo, screaming anguish doing powerful psychic attacks because he's not cut out for it, and it's just kind of pushing his body to the limit. I mean, the guy vomits plasma. I get agonizing throat pain if I vomit normally, and this lion is straight up hyperbeaming. Oh, the voice actor does so well. It almost makes me enjoy the concept of an anthropomorphized animal. Wait, no! I'm not a furry, I swear! I promise I'm not gonna sing a song again. This is the epitome of dedede at his best. All of his best moves have been handpicked, curated if you will. He's got meteor showers, tornado jumps, hammer tossing, beast summoning, all-out pummeling, charging around, flame tornadoes. Jesus Christ, how many of these things does he have? There's no gripes here, it's just an awesome fight. Next spot. Alright, so, yeah, this is the last furry, so, yay! Forgo Leon, basically being the Phantom equivalent to normal Leongar, is going to have a shorter segment because it's just pretty much improved Leongar. The new attacks are less focused on Leon himself, but more on Forgo, due to the total control that Forgo possesses here. With Forgo himself using his mighty power to fire energy balls at you, he also creates big dark energy force fields, which damage you when you touch it. Forgo is such a disgustingly evil villain, and it makes it so intriguing. Forgo Leon rocks, and next spot. So, it's the top 3, right? Which means it's for the best of the best. You know, it's not the best, but it's still for the best. So, why is the final boss here?
Oh my Jesus. The final boss in a Kirby game isn't an eldritch horror. Impossible. But somehow, it's even more terrifying. And I'll tell you why. Fecto Forgo, IDF-86, and Elfilin, IDF-87, are complete opposites. Forgo's only goal is to make itself whole again and slaughter whatever it pleases. It revels in the pain it brings and wishes to spread to other planets to do the same, until it is the only thing that won't live in agony. Elfilin is the opposite, a cute little creature that only seeks to help those it sees are in need. It shows compassion, love, genuine joy, and it doesn't betray Kirby. Shocker. But when they fuse, nothing changes. Fecto-Elfilis, even with the overwhelming good nature of Elfilin, seeks absolutely nothing except the invasion of worlds, opening portal after portal to infect world after world, stopping at nothing. Forgo is the definitive form, and Elfilin serves little purpose other than to show it has no need for it except to gain power. But you know, that's enough lore. Time for battle sh**! After using the Kirby wiki as a source, I have found out Elfilis has 11 attacks. Allow me, if you will, to list them off real quick. I also gave them little funky names. Blade Arrow Blitz, Spiffy Spear Spike, Joust Art Dedeth, Into the Swing of It, Jabberwocky, Spinteresting, The One Thing Magalore Did, Dr. Octagonopus, Meatiest Meteor, Kakuna Matata, and Independence Day 2 Resurgence. This is all a Kirby fan could ever want in a final boss, complete with impeccable design, exemplary score, and lore to the teeth. I bid you farewell, Elfilis. Wait a minute, this is still only number 3. Hold on, wait a second, there's better bosses? Okay, now hear me out.
Yep, somehow, at number 2, it's the secret final boss. I mean, this thing for me is like Shadow the Hedgehog. Edgy design, dubious intent, they called it the ultimate life form. I mean, yeah, it is Shadow the Hedgehog. Also, when you get its little figurine, the eyes follow you, and that's pretty creepy. You know how I said Fecto-Elfilis is all a Kirby fan needs when it's just a final boss? This is like that times 10. Hard first phase? Check. Color scheme inspired by Zero? Check. A second phase where it's just a black ball? Holy nugget, sign me up! This second phase is more fan service than No Way Home. Look at this. Cutter Shot and Black Hole from Marks. Sundash from Drossia Soul. Bouncing Ball from Grand Doomer. That shooting one, which I'm pretty sure is from another one as well. I mean, come on dude. That is just so freaking cool! The attacks this guy shoots out are just so awesome, and no lie, I always lost to the sun move because I didn't know to jump over the thing with the rocks. And now I feel dumb as hell. Anyway, moving on, it's basically a mishmash of old Kirby bosses, prior enemies' souls, the best boss in the game's power. Yeah, no point in stowing that one away any longer. Roll number 1!
And here we are.
Guys, it's been such a long list. We've seen amazing design, great soundtrack, wonderfully made AI, and awesome challenge, and now that we're here, all I want to say is, F*** you, fan service, baby! Awooga! Honestly, Kirby's fanbase has the most visceral reaction when it comes to bugs since Hollow Knight. And honestly, I cannot blame them. This one singular butterfly that has been here with Kirby from the start, finally, canonically, has become his most powerful form. Fluttering Dream Eater, it's goddamn Morpho Knight! Ah, I'm so happy! Ah! Yeah? I wrote it into the script. F*** you gonna do about it, huh? It's Morpho Knight. He's accompanied by some of the most powerful attacks in the whole game. He's got 2,000 HP, which is double that of Gorimondo, and he is strong. Massive swords, humongous flame walls, disorienting sound waves, and the patented Forgo DDD Tornado. This thing is unstoppable. Well, actually, no, because you can beat it, but do you really wanna?
It's a butterfly at the end of the day. A weirdly powerful butterfly with a dark past, but still a butterfly. Yeah, that's the end of the list. I don't think anyone wants to see any more of this.
Thanks for watching, guys. Tune in next time where we'll review every flavor of edible condoms.